This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
It's Wednesday, March the 18th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Good morning. The Cabinet Minister responsible for the Royal Barbados Police Force is this morning expressing serious concern over the shooting death of a man at the hands of an officer at Dash Gap Bank Hall on Sunday. Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite said he wanted the family to know he was profoundly sorry for their loss and empathize with them in their time of grief.
I should have begun by saying how profoundly sorry that I am to the Knight family for the loss of a father, loss of a husband, loss of a friend, and loss of a brother. It is always very, very sad whenever we lose one of our citizens. So that's where I should have begun. But I answered your question as opposed to beginning empathizing with the family. It's never easy when someone loses a loved one. It's never easy when, for me as Attorney General, when someone loses life at the hands of the Royal Barbados Police Force. And I see various comments on Facebook, etc. Mine is not a role to judge the legality or otherwise of the shooting. I have not seen any kind of a report, and therefore all I can say at this time is that it's very unfortunate, always very unfortunate when there's a loss of life. Let me also say that based on my experience since I've been Attorney General, officers involved in shootings are also very, very traumatized. It's not a case where the officer goes home and believes that all is well and goes about his normal business. So I'm sure that the officer involved will also have some difficulties presently and in the future.
The Attorney General was commenting on the shooting death of Selwyn Knight, whose son Junior was also shot in the back and injured while they were in the process of holding a man whom they had earlier accused of breaking into their house and stealing a tablet computer. Since that incident, 27-year-old Jamal Skeet of Bedford Lane, Greenfield in St. Michael, was charged with burglary in connection with the tablet computer. When Skeet appeared in court yesterday, he too told the magistrate he was sorry that his decision to steal the tablet resulted in Knight being shot dead at the hands of another person. Skeet pleaded guilty to the burglary charge. Count me out. Prime Minister Freundel Stuart washes his hands of the decision to take the controversial dismissal of former National Conservation Commission workers before the Employment Rights Tribunal. Speaking in Parliament yesterday, Stuart said while he has been accused of sending people to the tribunal, he had nothing to do with the final decision. He says it's the National Union of Public Workers and the Barbados Workers Union which opted for the move.
Let the record show that the Prime Minister chaired a meeting with the unions and with the NCC and received in writing a request from the unions that the matter be sent to the Employment Rights Tribunal. And all the Prime Minister did was to say, if the unions want this, who am I to say no to it? In writing, a request was made by the trade union to have this matter referred to the Employment Rights Tribunal. And I understood the logic. The logic was, it is better for an independent agency to deal with the issues related to NCC workers than for any union to find itself in a position where it has to say, Mary should not be working, Tom should be.
Debate on the estimates continues in the House of Assembly today. In sports, the semi-final of the Pine Hill Dairy-sponsored National Primary Schools Athletics Championship came off at the National Stadium yesterday with the 2014 Queens St. Stephen's Primary and Wilkie Cumberbatch boys emerging as the front runners. But next Wednesday's finals are expected to see fierce competition, with Bay Primary's Young Lasses just 1 point behind St. Stephen's, looking to stop the Black Rock St. Michael's School from capturing their second consecutive title. Plenty points were accumulated yesterday in the high jump final. Read all the details in our e-paper.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Welcome back with news of the region now. United States President Barack Obama will be in the Caribbean next month to meet with regional leaders. Jamaica will host the one-day state visit on April the 9th. President Obama and his CARICOM counterparts will discuss matters relating to security and trade and exchange views on regional and international issues of mutual interest. Jamaica's Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is confident the two sides will hold fruitful talks which will deepen relations between Washington and CARICOM. Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown is defending the integrity of the country's citizenship by investment program. Prime Minister Brown says, according to a report by the leading global financial advisory firm Arton Capital, the country's CIP program is rated among the best in the Caribbean. Brown says the due diligence within the program is second to none.
We have introduced a program in which virtually all applications that we would have actually approved would have been vetted, if not prior, if not prior to approval, after approval. So pre-approval and post-approval due diligence. And let me explain further. We've decided that individuals who apply for our citizenship, who emanate from certain countries, to include countries with sanctions like Iran and countries that are state sponsors of terrorism, countries in which there's extreme volatility, countries like Afghanistan, Somalia, Yemen, even North Korea, that those countries, in order for the citizens to qualify, they must firstly be permanent residents of either the United Kingdom, the United States, or Canada. And even if they are permanent residents of those countries, their applications are sent to the United States Embassy in Barbados for further due diligence checks.
On the international front, in Israel to be exact, the governing Likud party and the opposition are both declaring victory following elections. According to reports, both sides won 27 seats in the 120-member parliament. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described the vote as a great victory for his Likud party. But the Zionist Union says the incumbent party is being premature. More in this report from the BBC.
Close elections are a tense business. At the Zionist Union Election Night HQ, some celebrated. Others seemed to think their party hadn't done well enough. Very close by in Tel Aviv, Likud supporters were going through something very similar, trying to will their leader over the finishing line. In fact, coalition bargaining starts here. The smaller parties can become kingmakers, extracting ministerial positions and favours for their followers in return for support.
And that's our Barbados Today morning news update. But you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Now you can also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? #sexy.